Hi guys, let me tell you how my journey to 3D started and how it's going, so you avoid repeating my mistakes. So it all started back in 2019 when I was working in a media production department in Moscow International Airport. There was a corporate event that we took part into as separate corporate TV channels. I was a part of entertainment channel and we basically needed to just make funny videos and entertain the public. So for this event I decided to make a creative and stylish intro. At that time I knew nothing about 3D and only had experience in making 2D titles and animations in After Effects. So I decided to make a shortcut, found a film production related template for After Effects on the internet and decided to edit it for my preferences. Of course, it didn't work out well. If you're familiar with After Effects, you know what pain in the ass it is to edit 3D stuff in Element 3D in After Effects. So I thought to myself, why not try and make something good looking in 3D with a special 3D software? And fortunately, one of my colleagues had been using Cinema 4D for a pretty long time, and he decided I should try using it too. So I rushed into watching endless showreels and saving tutorials on YouTube, but the more I was digging into this, the more I realized that I had absolutely no idea what exactly I should focus on. And by the way, here is my first 3D video made in Cinema 4D, following the tutorial on YouTube by Video Smile School. Unfortunately, for the last 2 years, I didn't grow my 3D skills pretty much. I made a few 3D motion design videos and even got into a commercial project that is still not finished after 6 months of work. So I'm not very productive. And here are a few of my 3D motion design videos. You all definitely heard about these mind-blowing real-time Unreal Engine renders for Hollywood shows and for short commercials, and so do I. That's why I pushed myself to finally sit down and start learning this powerful software. And to be honest, I'm pretty sick of waiting for 40-hour renders in Redshift or Octane. So Unreal is a real time saver. So this is my little story of getting into 3D, but I believe this is only the beginning. There is one more little thing that I never paid enough attention to, and this is the promotion of my work in social media. And you know, if you don't show off in social media enough, then you literally doesn't exist as a creator. As far as I get it, networking in every creative field is pretty essential, and that's why I got into this CG summer camp arranged by cool guys from J Centers. So there is more CG and 3D related stuff coming. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video entertaining and interesting, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!